This slight digression is pardonable, since it leads to evidence of much value. I said I had been particularly struck with the beauty of the simple yet perfect plan which God had set up, whereunder soul might know soul, so that each spirit entity might have no difficulty in finding its appointed sphere in the illimitable beyond. The color thought had, indeed, been running so much in my mind that when the guide mentioned it as forming part of God's great scheme in the broad expanse of the etheric plane, the fact that no thought is ever lost here or in the hereafter, struck me with remarkable force. My own thoughts, then, had gone forth and had rolled on and had reverberated throughout the trackless realms of the infinite, so that one of God's many messengers, returning for a brief space to speak with one of the sons of men, had brought back their counterpart. The color scheme, and the law that like attracts like had been of late one of my strongest thoughts, and this celestial guide, who was nearby, caught the echo of it and gave it back to me, developed and enriched by the verbal melody of spirit speech. My celestial brother then proceeded to point out the coming conflict of man with man. He affirmed that he and his compeers on the spiritual plane were watching with keen interest the development of the struggle. And he gave me the assurance that every worker on the earth plane might confidently rely upon the necessary help from the spiritual helpers who had succeeded in establishing communication with us. The struggle, he affirmed, would be long and arduous, there would be clashing of forces, turmoil and unrest, the foundations of existing things would be shaken, yet out of it all would proceed peace. I was to play my part in the struggle and fight on fearlessly for the truth. I was enjoined not to cease in my efforts to impart knowledge and sow abroad the seeds of wisdom and truth. I was a teacher, and I was enjoined to improve my talents. My work, it was affirmed, was being watched and helped on by my many brother workers from the spiritual plane. And I was never to cease sending out my thoughts to them for guidance, help and counsel, and I was enjoined to believe that, as no thought could be lost, so could no thought, wish or resolve, having for its purpose the good of the human race, ever be disregarded. I was to send out my thoughts freely, constantly, and in the full belief that they would be received and answered, and that all would be well with me.